guys, welcome back to Shooting with Andy. We've been out deer hunting again, and I haven't had any luck, but my good friend Andrew did. Take a look at this. In this episode of Shooting with Andy, we're going to show you guys how to field dress a deer. So I got to warn you right now, it might get a little graphic, but it's part of the hunt, and you got to do it right or you spoil the meat. And believe me, I have a lot of respect for these creatures, and I try to harvest every bit of it that I can. So I'm going to show you guys the way I do it. It's worked for me for the last 20 years. Hopefully you can get something out of this. Let's take a look. But right now we're going to start cleaning this deer. The first thing we need to do is open up the abdominal cavity. And you got to be real careful when you do this. You want to make sure that you don't go too deep. You want to make sure that you don't break any of the intestines, large or small, because any fecal matter or any urine or any bile or anything that leaks out of those intestines could actually spoil some of the meat. So we're going to be really careful while we do this. You can see I made a little mistake. I either got a little too deep or the arrow may have penetrated some of the intestines there, but so far we're doing okay. We're going to try to keep that to a minimum. I'm going to start up here on the sternum and try to split the skin along the sternum. You can put some pressure on there because it's just against the bone. You can see the meat opening up here. Now we're down to the bone right there, and that helps give me a destination to finish the knife. Okay. Now, the knife's probably not going to do it right here, so we're going to switch to a saw. Alright, a lot of guys, when they do this, they try to cut right through the sternum. The sternum is one of the strongest bones in the body, so I always try to go off to one side or the other and actually cut through the edge of the rib cage there where it meets the sternum. There's a lot of cartilage there, and the bone's not quite as strong, so it's easier to cut. Alright, these saws, you can buy them. They have a bone saw blade, and they also have a wood blade, so it's a dual purpose saw. You can clear out some obstructions from your tree stand, but also you can put the bone saw on there and actually help clean your deer. So you can buy them pretty cheap at any sporting goods store. You just want to cut right up along the sternum. As you can see, the bones are kind of soft right here. Okay, now we go back to the knife and split the neck a little bit further up. Okay, and then we want to get the esophagus out from as high as we possibly can. Alright, here we go. I'm trying to expose the esophagus so I can get up in here and trim it. Okay. Like I said, this is going to be graphic. Okay, now we just try to remove the esophagus and everything connected to it all the way down to the rectum. The esophagus is hooked on what would be the bottom side of the deer or the top side of the esophagus, so you got to make sure you cut that loose as you pull. Normally when you get the esophagus going, most everything else comes out. There's some sinew that has to be cut along the side here on both sides. And you basically just pull and cut till everything's out. I just got all the entrails out. I'm working my way down to the pelvic bone. We're going to have to cut through the pelvis in a couple of places to get the large intestine out. And once we get the pelvis cut and split open, then we're going to remove the rectum and take the rest of the large intestine. You got to do all of that. If you don't get it all out, it could taint some of the meat, and that's the last thing you want to do when you harvest a beautiful creature like this. Take my bone saw again, cut through here just to make sure we got everything out. Okay. Some people do this with a hatchet. I don't really have a hatchet today, so I use that bone saw. It works pretty easily. This is a younger deer, so his bones aren't quite as hard as some of the more mature deer. I hope that video really helped you guys out. We were able to get all the entrails out very successfully. We were able to butcher the deer, and we got several pounds of meat off of it. It was a very successful hunt. Be sure to tune in to Shooting with Andy and see what we get into next time. Thanks for watching.